It's time for the Zack Snyder Appreciation Special episode. Hey, it's me, AP, and welcome to the Saturday Movie Show. So, as I said in the intro, today is a very special episode. It is the Zack Snyder Appreciation Special episode today. And why am I putting this episode together? I thought it would be a great opportunity to celebrate the career so far of the fantastic director, filmmaker Zack Snyder, because we've just had the release of the posters and the new release date for the Snyder Cut, the Justice League Snyder Cut, and I'm excited for it. I'm really excited, and I just wanted to take a look back at really the career of Zack Snyder so far, and just to have a look at what his career has been like, what his future might hold, and just to have an overall discussion of a filmmaker that I really enjoy. So first of all, we've had the posters have been released, and we have the official release date for the Justice League Snyder Cut now, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is coming to HBO Max, and basically this is going to be released on March 18th this year, 2021. And we got some pretty cool posters that came out on Zack Snyder's social media channels. I see it on his Twitter. Really cool posters. I really like them. And March 18th, wow, that is right around the corner now. Right around the corner. And it's now, we know officially that it was, originally we were thinking it maybe, we might be getting two different versions, like a full film cut and then a TV show, like a four episode TV show, but now we know for sure that the Snyder Cut is going to be a 4-hour movie. So it's going to be a load of bonus content from what was filmed originally, a bit of extra content as well. More stuff has been filmed with the likes of Jared Leto. So it's going to be one heck of a movie. I think probably that is going to be the longest movie I've ever watched. 4-hour movie. I can't recall ever watching a 4-hour film before. So it is going to be quite the watch, but as I said, this is a full episode in appreciation of Zack Snyder and his filmmaking capabilities and filmmaking talents as well. So where do we start? So let's just start. Why do I like Zack Snyder? And I would say for me, it is the tone of his movies. The tone of his movies always tend to be darker. They tend to be very like gritty movies, but they always. I mean, take for instance a few different ones like Watchmen, a movie that is dark in tone. And fair enough, the Watchmen graphic novel is dark in tone. Maybe he was chosen for that, or he wanted to do that because of the tone of the comic. But the tone of that, for me, it was a perfect tone. I know a lot of people didn't really like that. They didn't feel like it was that good. I think also a lot of people do like that. So I'm on the side of people who do like Watchmen. Like the DC movies he's done. Superman, for instance. We have Superman, the old Superman movies with Christopher Reeves in. They were very light-hearted and they were very off the time. But again, Superman, very, very, very light-hearted character. And then Man of Steel comes, and Man of Steel is a dark movie. It's a very, very different Superman movie he gives us. And look, I'll be honest with you, when it first came out, I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Superman fan. And Man of Steel came out, and I wasn't quite sure, but I've watched it quite a few times since, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the tone. I enjoy that it's different than the other Superman movies. And it is the tone of Zack Snyder's movies. It's very dark. It's very trying to bring in a lot of realism. It's trying to get at this like a realistic look of what superheroes are. And I feel like that's what a lot of his movies do try and do. It's trying to give you like a realistic look at what we would see of what's going on the screen, like a storytelling. Like you have Batman versus Superman. How would that look in the real world? And I feel like he does it really well, Zack Snyder, and I like that tone. I like his grit, like that gritty tone of like his movies, like Dawn of the Dead. Let's go back to Dawn of the Dead, the remake of the classic. Again, that was his first. I've got his list of movies. Let's just go. Let's go through the list of Zack Snyder directed movies first off here. So he starts off in 2004. His director's debut, and it is Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Fantastic movie. I watched this. I really enjoyed it. I I had the DVD right years ago, and some reason it went lost in my collection. I don't know where it went. Someone's either it got sold accidentally, or I don't know what happened to it. But I've rebought it ever since, and it's a film I really enjoy. Dawn of the Dead, fantastic movie, and it's a great remake. It's a great remake. As I said, the original Dawn of the Dead is a classic movie. Really good movie, really good zombie movie. Um, but his movie is just as good. I think it is just as good. It was a shame. I would have loved to seen more from that universe, that sort of Zack side. I want to see Dawn of the Dead too. That's what I want to see, because it's a really good movie. Even like a TV show where Zack Snyder was included, that'd be awesome. 300. I've seen it years ago, and I can't really comment too much on this one because I can't recall it that much. It's one I've not watched much of, 300, but I enjoyed it at the time. I thought it was a good movie. Watchmen, probably one of my favourite Zack Snyder movies. Phenomenal. I am a big fan of the graphic novel. The graphic novel is quite a read. It's a big, massive book. I was going to bring the book down, but it's in my upstairs in the bedroom. But basically, the graphic novel is like that thick. It is a massive graphic novel, and a great graphic novel as well. Fantastic story, and I felt like he nailed it. I really do feel like he took what was on the page and put it right into the camera. I enjoyed it. I can go through reading the graphic novel and switch to the movie, and I don't feel like there's much of a difference. It feels like he's just took it straight from the comic book into the screen. I thought it was a fantastic movie, Watchmen. Legends of the Guardians, I've never seen it. I've never seen that movie, and I know it has a lot of people like it. I know a lot of people have seen it. One I've never watched, and I didn't actually know that it was a Zack Snyder movie. I was never aware of that until I was going through Wikipedia before doing this special today, and yeah, I see there is a Zack Snyder movie. Phenomenal. So I'm gonna have to definitely watch the Legends of the Guardians. It sounds like Legends of the Guardians, the true Guardians of the Galaxy. Sucker Punch. I watched this years ago, and kind of like 300, I can't really recall that much of it. I'll be honest with you though, with Sucker Punch, my recollection of that one, it was probably one of the Zack Snyder movies I didn't enjoy as much. But maybe I've only watched it the one time. Maybe it's one of those, if I go back and watch it, I'd have a greater appreciation of that movie. But at the time, I didn't really think much of it. I didn't really think this is the world's worst movie. I just thought, yeah, this wasn't that good. And again, our tastes change over the years, and that was many years ago when I watched Sucker Punch. I can't recall what year that came out, but that was quite some time ago, if I remember correctly. That must be like 10 years plus now, surely. Sucker Punch, definitely. Let's see, next we have, again, Man of Steel. Man of Steel, I think, is a really good movie. It's different. Look, this comes out when DC is looking at Marvel, seeing what Marvel is doing with the MCU. They think, we're going to start doing this with DC. We're going to start doing our own DC comic book movie universe. And look, Man of Steel, again, this is a common thread throughout Zack Snyder's filmmaking career. People are very either on one side of the fence or on the other side with his movies. And I think it's come with definitely with every DC movie he's done so far. It's always been like, people don't like it, they don't like the tone, they don't like certain aspects. As I said, I stand on the side of the fence. I like Man of Steel. I like Zack Snyder's style of filmmaking. I can understand why some people may not like it, but I think again that's just a subjective choice. You know, if you don't like something, you don't like it. You can't really. I think if you try to force yourself to like something, you'd never like it. It's like I do not like. What do I not like? Marmite, and I know a lot of people do like it, but I would never. I can never change my choice in not liking Marmite. It's just my personal choice. I don't like it. It's just the way it goes. I will never change my opinion on Marmite. That is just the way I am. And a lot of people probably feel that way about Zack Snyder. And I get it and I understand it. And I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But I am going to appreciate him as I am a fan of Zack Snyder movies. I'm blowing smoke up his backside, basically, because I want to, because this is the Zack Snyder Appreciation Special episode of the Saturday Movie Show. Let's crack on. So, again, Man of Steel, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. It really also introduced us to Henry Cavill, who I think is a fantastic choice as Superman. I've really enjoyed his performances so far. I'm looking forward to seeing how he is in the Snyder Cut as well. I am looking forward to seeing this different cut of Justice League. It's going to be cool. Batman versus Superman, probably the one I enjoy most out of either between Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. Batman versus Superman is one I enjoy the most. I think it's a great movie. Great movie. I like just having Batman versus Superman on screen. It's awesome. Awesome. As a comic book fan, that is awesome to see. How can we not like that? I don't care if you... First of all, I think Ben Affleck as Batman was a great choice. I felt like he was a great choice from the start. When they hired him, I thought... And I remember like there was loads of backlash when they first got Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he looks the right choice. He looks like a grizzled old Bruce Wayne. He looks the right type of role. I don't think Christian Bale would have worked well with Henry Cavill because they look. I'm sure Christian Bale's quite a few years older than Henry Cavill, but they look like similar ages. Whereas Ben Affleck, he looks like a grizzled, especially in that movie, he got jacked, absolutely jacked. And he looked just grizzled, he looked old, he looked cool. I thought he was a really cool choice as Batman, as Bruce Wayne. And I enjoyed it. Again, you got Gal Gadot in that as well. Really the sort of like the start of what they were building to with Justice League. Sure, it was... The whole idea of it for Justice League, it felt rushed. It did feel rushed. I think DC probably could have took a few steps back and done a few more origin stories first before leading up to Justice League. But they wanted to do the big Justice League movie like the Avengers, first of all, because they've seen big money around the Avengers, and I get it. It makes sense. You see your competitor doing that, and you think, well, let's do the same. I honestly, I totally understand that, and sure, it didn't work, but we're still getting more of that now. We're getting more with the Snyder Cut. We're getting, hopefully, now the DC universe is getting better. The movies are getting better. They're more enjoyable. We're getting more solo movies, more origin movies. So now it feels like it's going in the right direction, and I'm still happy that Zack Snyder is still involved with the Snyder Cut now, and the Snyder Cut is getting its release. Next up, again, Justice League is his next movie, his next outing that is to come out on March 18th. And then after that, later this year, at this moment in time, it is Army of the Dead, starring Dave Bautista, and from Guardians of the Galaxy, from Spectre, Blade Runner 2049. And you may know him as the WWE superstar Batista. And I'm looking forward to that as well. I think it's a zombie heist movie, and he's shown that he can do zombie movies before with Dawn of the Dead. So maybe this is kind of like the spiritual successor, the spiritual sequel to his Dawn of the Dead. Maybe this is his sort of like franchise, maybe moving forward. Because I've been reading today online, and apparently this Army of the Dead is getting like a spin-off TV show, or there's talk of a spin-off like prequel TV show and an animated show. So maybe this is his like, he is now building his like zombie universe as well. So this is going to be cool. I think it's going to be awesome. It's cool that he's working on new projects. We know he's over the past few years. The reason he dropped out of Justice League because one of his children sadly, I believe they took their lives, which is awful. It's awful, and look, we can all understand why he'd want to then take a step back from Justice League, and that's when Joss Whedon jumped in. But I'm glad he is now going back to filmmaking. He's obviously enjoying filmmaking again, and I think it's awesome. It's awesome to see him back in the director's shirt, and it's awesome to see him complete the vision of Justice League, what he wanted to do before that tragic event within his family. But let's move forward. Let's move forward now. And as I said, I like Zack Snyder films. So what is my favourite one? It's got to be Watchmen. Watchmen's my favourite one. If it was second favourite, it would be Batman vs Superman for sure, definitely. But Watchmen, as I said, it was straight from the comic book, straight onto film, and fantastic movie. As I said, one I've got to watch more again. Well, two I really got to watch again is Dawn, 300, and Sucker Punch, Legend of the Guardians. I will most definitely have to watch as well at some point. That is, I still can't believe that's a Zack Snyder movie. I never thought that was a Zack Snyder movie. Let me grab a quick drink, guys. Right, so 4-hour cut. What do we think? What do you think out there? Again, intrigued to see how much of this should be in the movie, because 4 hours is a long time. I think the original movie was about 2 hours, so that is a heck of a lot of movie and a heck of a lot of. I shouldn't be saying heck. That's too many times I've said heck. It's a heck free zone from now on. That is a lot of runtime and a lot of like footage that didn't go in. That is surreal. That is surreal to think though, but that must happen in most movies. Most movies must have that much. Like 4 hours must be a lot. Must be like a standard practice for a lot of movies. To think a movie being cut down to 2 hours from 4 hours, like a whole movie being cut out, but he's adding. It feels like we're going to be getting like two Justice League movies thrown into one. I mean, will the narrative be the same? Will it be? I imagine that the narrative is going to be fairly similar to what we've seen with the Justice League, but I think maybe there's just going to be slight changes. I mean, like Darkseid is going to feature, so he's going to be amongst the new footage. I think we're going to see. I hope we see more of like the Flash as well. I want to see more of the Flash in this movie, and I suppose just more Batman and Superman. That's what I want to see. I want to see. I'm looking forward to seeing the black suit Superman. That'll be good. I think that's another thing to look forward to. Again, we want to see more Batman. I enjoyed the score. I enjoyed the score in the Justice League movie with Joss Whedon by Danny Elfman when it brought in like the old like Batman 1989 themes and elements of the John Williams Superman theme. I enjoyed it. I'll be honest, I thought it was a good soundtrack. I enjoyed that. That's one I used to, every time I'd walk to work, I'd always have that blasting in my ears, that soundtrack. I thought it was a cool one. So now he has chosen Tom Holkenberg, just Junkie XL, to do the score, and he's worked on like Batman vs Superman, and I think he worked on Man of Steel with Hans Zimmer as well. But Junkie XL is a great composer, and sure, it's going to be a different. It's everything in this movie is going to feel different. I think it's going to be, first of all, the look of the movie is going to look more in line. I don't think I'm pretty much like 95% sure that it's going to be exactly the same tone as Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel. It's going to be like a darker visual look, whereas the Justice League movie, as much as I enjoyed it for what it was, things I didn't enjoy. Microphone just went this way. Things I didn't enjoy was the way they tried to overly lighten it up, like to outrageous amounts, and it felt, for me, it felt disconnected from what was before with the previous movies, because it was so. It's like they looked at like the best bits of comedy from Marvel movies, and they said, "Let's try and make this bright as hell. Let's make this the brightest movie ever, and let's make everything more colorful on screen, more brighter for the audience. I mean, visually, like the colors in the look. So they like instead of going for like dark blues, mid-tones, it was all very like bright red, yellow colors. It felt like a very. Whereas you look at like if you look at a Marvel movie, they kind of look quite bright. The contrast of the colors, but the I'm talking like about like color balance and color correction. It was all very bright in the Justice League movie, whereas like the previous like Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman, they were very dark tones, very darky grey looks to them, and I hope and I think that will definitely be kept. It'll be kept more in line to them two previous movies. So hopefully they do keep it, as I said, darker tone, more in line with everything that's come before. And look, it's just intrigue. It's intrigue to see what this is all like. I mean, again, it's a 4-hour movie. What can we expect? Can we expect just a load of material that's just doesn't make any sense? Sure, we might get that. Or are we going to get a 4 hours of pure phenomenal action? I hope it is just 4 hours. And I think the amount of time that's went into this, I think it will be just a genuinely very passionate project. And I can't imagine it's going to be bad. I think it's just going to be a fun movie for fans of Zack Snyder and for fans of DC Comics. I think it's going to be awesome. So I'm just looking forward to it with intrigue, lots of intrigue and joy to watch it. Really am. Let's talk more about Zack Snyder today, because it is the Zack Snyder appreciation special. So, question I want to pose to you as the audience out there: should Zack Snyder be involved in any future DC movie projects, or just any DC properties at all? TV, movies, what do you think? I think, I know he's an executive producer on like the upcoming Suicide Squad, and that seems like the role he's probably going to take more so. But would we like to see him in a directing role again? I think it would be cool to see him direct some stuff. I think the best sort of stuff though, he needs to like do dark stuff again. He needs to keep more in line. I mean, you could say Man of Steel 2. I feel like if they do Man of Steel 2 now, I think DC will want it to be a lot more lighter in tone. I don't think they'll want to have Zack Snyder Man of Steel 2. I just don't think they will want it. I think they want to go in a different direction if they do any more Superman movies. So where does it leave Zack Snyder? I mean, you could potentially have a Watchmen crossover maybe into the DC. We've seen it in the comics. I know Doomsday Clock, I believe that I've never read it, but I know it features them sort of like going into the DC comic book universe. Could we see him just do a random property like a Green Lantern? I say random. Green Lantern's not random, it's a fantastic property, but they're doing the TV show now. So that's going to be, maybe that's probably an option out of his hands. What I would like him to do is Stormwatch. If anyone's read the graphic novel, I started reading the New 52 graphic novels of the Stormwatch, and it is like a spacey, very similar to like a Guardians of the Galaxy, I suppose you can compare it to. But it's set in space, and they're like sort of like this unknown like space protection force of Earth, and I think it would be the right type of property for Zack Snyder to make, to direct. It's very, very dark in tone, a lot maturer to other properties like Superman. So it's different. It's different, and I think it would suit his tone of filmmaking, his style of filmmaking a lot more. So Stormwatcher would be something I'd like to see him get his hands on, or maybe Constantine. Constantine would be cool. I think like a Justice League Dark would be really good for Zack Snyder. something like that. I know there's tons of properties out there. I wouldn't be. I why not give him a TV show? Why not say to him, how about you do a HBO Max show? Look, Disney Plus are doing it with all the Marvel shows now. They're going more into TV shows at the moment. We're getting the John Cena Peacemaker show that's coming out soon, and James Gunn is on board fronting that. Why can't we see Zack Snyder involved in a DC comic book show? I'm sure a lot of fans would like it. Look, this was fan power that got us the Snyder Cut. If it weren't for passionate fans out there who wanted this cut, who petitioned for this director's cut, we wouldn't be getting it. It's because of years of fans just saying, give us a Snyder Cut, give us a Snyder Cut, that we got this. And I think there's definitely a lot of fans out there who would like to see more of Zack Snyder in the DC comic book universe, whether it be TV shows or films. But I'm definitely one of those fans who would really like to see him more involved in the future of what DC is doing. I think DC has a great future. I enjoyed Wonder Woman 1984. I thought it was a good movie. I like that they're doing bright movies. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing these bright, cool superhero movies, but it's nice to have a balancing act. I like having a bit of both. I want the best of both worlds. And I want some dark movies and I want some light-hearted movies. I want a bit of both, and that's where Zack Snyder, hopefully he will come into it, and we will get more of more Zack Snyder content along the way. So, as I said, I want to see more Zack Snyder properties, and hopefully we will most certainly get him in the future. So I feel like that is the appreciation over for Zack Snyder for the Saturday movie show today. I'm going to switch now to a bit of housekeeping. You know the drill. We do some housekeeping. We don't do no cleaning up. This room doesn't need cleaning up, but it's just housekeeping. Talk about what's going on in the community that we've got going here. Basically, so I put out a few bits of content this past week. Yesterday, I put out a bonus podcast on Patreon, and I talked about it in last week's show, I believe. So it's called Watch Order Task Force, and it's a 30-minute Patreon bonus movie podcast. And the first episode is talking about the Skywalker saga, and basically it's kind of a light-hearted comedy, funny show, but it's also me just discussing movies, and it's me discussing the best possible watch order of the Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. So I've put that together. It's something I wanted to do for a while. I intend to put out these monthly podcasts now as a regular thing, once a month, hopefully like the last Friday of every month. That's the plan so far at the moment. But if you're intrigued, there's a preview on the YouTube channel. I put a quick preview of what the episode is about, the first 3 or 4 minutes of it on YouTube, so you can listen to it if you want to hear more of my content. Again, it's just an extra. I put it out as an extra. If you want to hear more of what I'm doing, it's available now, and you've got the option. I just want to make more content. I enjoy making content. I enjoy talking about movies, and I thought, why not make an extra, a fun podcast, a movie podcast on my Patreon? So all the links are via the YouTube video on the YouTube channel. So it's called Watch Order Task Force. Another video I put up this past week is one, should you collect physical media in 2021? The video seems to be doing well. People seem to like them physical media videos. I enjoy making them. I enjoy talking about my physical media plans and what I enjoy collecting. It's fun to talk about, and that's why I put it together. And I wanted to discuss what I was collecting this year, because there's certain things I want to collect, and I've mentioned about 4K. I might be getting into 4K this year, maybe. I'm still into DVDs. I've never got into Blu-rays, and I've never bought a Blu-ray in my life. I wear that with a badge of honor sometimes, but I probably shouldn't. I probably should just go full steam in and say, let's try something new. But I've just been a DVD guy. I always have for as long as I've had DVDs. So 4K is something I'm interested in getting this year. But check out that video and find out what I'm collecting this year, really, and just an overall fun discussion about physical media in 2021. So, what have I... I'm going to get a coffee. I've got coffee. I've got water over here. I've got coffee over here. Let's have a coffee break. In honour of talking about Zack Snyder, I've got my Superman cup. I've got my Superman cup right here. I'm going to have a coffee. Black coffee. I'm drinking Azura coffee today. It's delightful coffee. Very delightful. So, what have I been watching this week? I have been watching WandaVision. WandaVision. Every time I say it, it sounds like I'm saying one division, but it's WandaVision. 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 I've got it. I've got it now. But yeah, I've been watching it. I'm on episode 4 now. I've watched it. This spoiler warning right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers are ahead. So WandaVision, episode 4. What did I think of it? This episode picked up. It picked up the whole series. You do not have to... I felt like from this episode, you don't really have to watch episode 1, 2, or 3. I feel like you could have maybe... I don't even think you needed to watch episode 3. I feel like you could have started the whole... If I was going to recommend the show now, I probably would even recommend watching episode 4, because I think the first 3 episodes were so slow. I really didn't enjoy the first 3 episodes. I felt like the end of episode 3 got a lot better. By the end, it got a lot more exciting. And it felt like you knew that episode 4 was going to be a good one by the end of episode 3. But this episode was amazing. Absolutely fantastic. I really thought this episode was magnificent. From start to finish, the style was different. It wasn't the... I mean, I was expecting maybe this was going to be like the 60s or 70s, maybe. A sitcom style thing. It wasn't. It went into the real world. And we see the telling of the first 3 episodes on the other side, where it sets up S.W.O.R.D. So we've had S.H.I.E.L.D. in the MCU before, now we get S.W.O.R.D. And we get Captain Rambo? She is the daughter of the character in the Captain Marvel movie. I've only watched Captain Marvel once, so it wasn't a character I was massively aware of, but kind of knew from reading stuff over the past few weeks who her character was going to be. So we see this character Rambo, and she wakes up in the hospital just after everyone's come back from the snap, and they call it the blip. Now this is what they call it, the blip. And she finds out her mum, who was the character in the Captain Marvel movie, she set up S.W.O.R.D. and this Rambo who woke up, her daughter, she was previously a member of S.W.O.R.D., but she was part of the people who were just taken out with the snap. She wakes up in hospital, finds out her mum's died. She goes back into work, and then we see, is it Jimmy Choo, who is the character within Ant-Man 2? Great intro, great entrance from him when he just does the car trick. Made me laugh straight away, because it was just that joke within the Ant-Man 2 when he's talking about the cards, and his character in Ant-Man 2 is awesome. Really funny character. He is a funny actor. I really like. I don't know the actor's name, but I've seen him in quite a few things. Great, really funny actor. We get Kat Dennings. She returns in this. I enjoy her stuff. I think she's really cool. It was a really funny episode, but this was like, it felt like a Marvel movie. So we see her character Rambo. She goes to investigate Jimmy Choo's her, and then we see her go in to this force field. She puts these drones. They go into the force field, and then they go into that world. And then that's where it goes back to that moment when we see Wanda with this toy helicopter. It's the drone what she put in, and Rambo. So then Rambo goes in, and then we see her character on screen, and basically Kat Dennings' character hacks into the radiation somehow, and then they see the sitcom being played out. And it's such like a meta idea. It's a show within a show. It's a really cool cool concept. I like them sort of. It's like like the Truman Show. It's like the Truman Show hits Marvel. It really is, but with this weird like X-Files fringe undertone of it all, and I really enjoyed it. It was it was like watching a different show from the first 3 episodes, and we really see where this story's going now, and we see what the story really is. We see by the end of it that Wanda is the one who's the architect of all this. She really is. The first 3 episodes feels like her and Vision they're in this reality, and we know it's a like this weird reality, but it feels like everyone's against them. But in reality, and like all the neighbors are the enemies, or they're instigating against them. But by the end of this episode, we realize that Wanda is actually the architect, and she's the villain of all this. She is the evil one who's setting up this weird fantasy world because she can't cope with the grief of losing Vision. So it's very. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode now. I don't know how many episodes are left in this season now, but it's really changed my mind on what this show is about now, and it's made me excited. I really wish they'd put them all out instead of doing the 1 week at a time. I think it works well with Mandalorian, but with this, I don't know. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe it's because I suppose the idea of it is we wait a week. It's more excited. They can spread the content out, and I get it from that point of view. But I just want to watch it now. But maybe that's the point. I want to watch it now. Whereas the past couple of weeks, I wasn't excited. I wasn't looking forward to it. But now I'm like, yes, I need to watch episode 5 now. I'm super pumped to see it, and I'm looking forward to episode 5 coming out. And look, I reckon they're going to probably go back to I think episode 5 would be good to sort of like drift into both worlds more. Because this one was kind of setting out what Sword is all about, what they're trying to do, and working out what is going on within this big force field that Wanda has built. I think now we're going to see a bit of both. I think we're going to see more interaction between both worlds now, because we've seen it with this. We see all the interaction, like the voice on the radio was Jimmy Chu. We see all them interactions. It all makes sense to us now. It's so, where does the story move forward? That is going to be the intriguing thing, because I think we still got to see the 80s and the 90s. I think there's like 2 eras that have been shown in the previews, the adverts. So, look, I think it's going to be really good. I think they're on course to have like a really good ending to this show. I think a lot of fans are going to be really pumped to see it now, because it is a different show from the first 3 episodes, and it is now an exciting show for MCU fans. I'm loving it. I really am loving it. So anyway, thank you very much for watching the show today. If you did like the show, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more movie-related videos. Let me know what your favourite Zack Snyder movies are. What are your favourite Zack Snyder movies? What would you like him to do in the future? What movies would you like him to direct? Specifically, let's go for DC movies. Which characters would you like to see him adapt on screen? Would it be a TV show? Would it be a film? Let me know your thoughts, and let me know your thoughts on WandaVision as well. Did you enjoy episode 4 just as much as I did? Because it was awesome, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it, but I want to know what your opinion is. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in to the Saturday movie show today. I will definitely see you next Saturday. I will be here, and I hope you are here as well. Have a good week, everyone.